All right, so we're going to read two books of the Bible. They're called Ezra and Nehemiah, okay? And these two books are really important. And they're not really discussed that often by scholars. But Ezra and Nehemiah shows us how Persia helped the Jews to reconstitute their nation, the process. And by studying these two books, it will give us insight into how current people in the nation of Israel think. And then we can analyze how they will behave moving forward, okay? All right, so can you read? This is the beginning of the book of Ezra, okay?
In the first year of King Cyrus of Persia, in order that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be accomplished, the Lord stirred up the spirit of King Cyrus of Persia, so that he sent a herald throughout all his kingdom, and also in a written edict declared.
Okay, so this is really important for us to understand, okay? According to the Bible, Cyrus is doing this because God told him to do this, okay? Not because of imperial ambitions or imperial strategy, it's just God told him to do this, okay? Keep on going.
Thus says King Cyrus of Persia, "The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem in Judah. Any of those among you who are of his people, may their God be with them, are now permitted to go up to Jerusalem in Judah and rebuild the house of the Lord, the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem, and let all survivors, in whatever place they reside, be assisted by the people of their place with silver and gold, with goods and with animals, besides free will offsprings for the house of God in Jerusalem."
Okay, so Cyrus the Great is considered the Messiah by the Jews. The Jews are extremely thankful for Cyrus because not only does he allow them to go back to Jerusalem, but he also finances the rebuilding of the temple, okay? But when this happens, when they go back and try to rebuild the temple, the locals get pissed off, okay? Because, like, who are you people? You're stealing our religion. Like, what's going on here, okay? And this creates a lot of conflict. That's good for the Persian Empire because they want this conflict, right? As part of their divide and rule strategy, okay? All right.
When the builders laid the foundation of the temple of the Lord, the priests in their vestments were stationed to praise the Lord with trumpets, and the Levites, the son of
the Levites are important. Levites are actually the priest class of the Israelites, okay? Keep on going.
The sons of Asaph, with cymbals according to the direction of King David of Israel, and they sang responsively, praising and giving thanks to the Lord. For he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever towards Israel. And all the people responded with a great shout when they praised the Lord, because the foundation of the house of the Lord was laid. But many of the priests and Levites and heads of families, old people who had seen the first house on its foundations, wept with a loud voice when they saw this house, though many shouted aloud for joy, so that the people could not distinguish the sound of the joyful shout from the sound of the people's weeping, for the people shouted so loudly that the sound was heard far away.
This is the happiest moment in Jewish history, when they rebuild the temple, okay, what they call the Second Temple. And this is important because the Second Temple was destroyed. And what they want to do now in Israel is build the Third Temple. And this is important because the Third Temple sits on the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is the third holiest site in the Islamic world. So what this Bible is telling us that eventually the Israelis will destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque so that they can build the Third Temple, or what they call the Temple of Solomon, okay? All right, can you continue?
From one?
Yeah, when the adversaries
of Judah and Benjamin heard that the returned exiles were building a temple to the Lord, the God of Israel, they approached Zerubbabel and the heads of families and said to them, "Let us build with you, for we worship your gods as you do."
Okay, so they're saying, we're Israelites just as you guys, okay? We stayed, but you guys left. So actually, we're better than you are, okay? Because we stayed, whereas you left. Okay, keep on going.
"And we have been sacrificing to him ever since the days of King Esarhaddon of Assyria, who brought us here. But Zerubbabel, Joshua and the rest of the heads of families in Israel said to them, "You shall have no part with us in building a house to our God, but we alone will build to the Lord, the God of Israel, as King Cyrus of Persia had commanded us."
This is really weird, right? You're all Israelites. Why is it that no, we are the true Israelites, you guys are the false Israelites, and so you can't help us? Okay? Why is there this conflict going on? Right? That's strange. And so the only way to understand this is the conflict is part of the imperial strategy. Okay? Divide and rule. Keep on going.
Then the people of the land discouraged the people of Judah and made them afraid to build, and they bribed officials to frustrate the plan throughout the reign of King Cyrus of Persia and until the reign of King Darius of Persia.
Okay, so they try to build the temple, but it doesn't really work out because there's so much opposition, right? the Jews who've come back from Babylon, it's like, we're the real Israelites, so only we can touch the temple. No one else can participate. And the others are like, this is wrong. We should all participate in the building of the temple. This is one religion, okay? So it seems as though these Jews from Babylon, they're actually imperial agents who are trying to sow discontent within the region. Okay? Sorry, this is a bit long, okay? But can you try to read?
Okay. This is a copy of the letter that King and can you help me?
Artaxerxes, okay?
Artaxerxes.
Artaxerxes is this great warrior in Persia, okay? Great warrior. Keep on going.
Gave to the priest Ezra, the scribe, a scholar of the text of the commandments of the Lord and his status for Israel.
Okay, so Ezra is one of these Israelites who comes from a family that was exiled to Babylon. Okay, but he's a priest and he's an intellectual. So he is considered actually the creator of the Bible that we have today. Okay, keep on going.
Artaxerxes, king of kings, to the priest Ezra, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, peace. And now I decree that any of the people of Israel, of their priests or Levites in my kingdom who freely offers to go to Jerusalem may go with you. For you are sent by the king and his 7 counselors to make inquiries about Judah and Jerusalem according to the law of your God, which is in your hand, and also to convey the silver and gold that the king and his counselors have freely offered to the God of Israel, whose dwelling is in Jerusalem, with all the silver and gold that you shall find in the whole province of Babylonia, and with the free will offerings of the people and the priests given willingly to the house of their God in Jerusalem. With this money, then, you shall with all diligence buy bulls, rams, and lambs, and their grain offering and their drink offerings, and you shall offer them on the altar of the house of your God in Jerusalem.
Okay, stop. Okay, this is really important. Okay, this is a letter by King Artaxerxes authorizing Ezra to build the second temple. Okay, why is this important? Because this is called the Balfour Declaration, 1917. What's going to happen is that the British government, Lord Balfour, he writes to Lord Rothschild, who is a Jewish financier, and he says, actually, just read this, okay?
Okay. I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation.
Okay, this is almost like the Artaxerxes Declaration, right? You see how in the Bible, Artaxerxes writes a letter to Ezra and says, hey, I authorize you to go back to Jerusalem and build the second temple, right? So what's happening is that they're using the Bible as a script in order to facilitate their geopolitical ambitions. Okay, this is why reading the Bible is important. Because once you read the Bible, you understand the Bible, you compare it to historical development, you're able to see the connections. And if you're able to see connections, you can also predict how they will develop over time. Okay? So this Balfour Declaration creates the current nation of Israel, okay, which was founded in 1948. So, like before, the nation of Israel was created by the British as part of their geopolitical strategy of dividing and conquering the Middle East. And we'll discuss this later on, okay? But it's really important for you guys to keep in mind as we move forward.